All right, what's up, San Antonio? You are listening to KSYM San Antonio College Radio. My name is DJ Damn Cam, and I have the pleasure chilling with Sebastien Granger from Death from Above 1979. Sebastien, we did it. You're here. Thanks for being here, bud.
Thank you. How are you?
Man, fantastic. I saw you guys are coming February 1st to Paper Tiger, which is my favorite
Yep.
venue in town.
Amazing.
So
That's
I
great.
I used to bartend there back in the day, so I have a
Cool.
very solid spot for that place. But yeah, hit you guys up, and thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Dope. So we were talking off air for a second. Where are you at right now? Your tour just started. It was in Seattle, January 20th.
Yeah,
You're in Oregon right now?
we were in Oregon. Yeah, we were at in Portland last night. And today just a little day off, day of rest.
Nice.
Relax the pipes, relax the muscles, and on to San Francisco tomorrow night.
Oh, where you guys playing at in San Fran?
Where are we playing? We're playing at the Regency in San Francisco.
Cool, man. That'll be fun. How was last night?
It was great. It was great. Yeah,
Energy
we're
good?
we're this part of the tour, we have Spiritual Cramp, band
Okay.
from the Bay Area, from San Francisco, opening up, and they're just so much fun. It's so fun to watch every night. So yeah,
Sick.
been getting us for the hype.
Spiritual what?
Spiritual Cramp.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Nice.
By the time we're out with you guys, we'll be with Teen Mortgage again, and they're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
listening to them earlier today. That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
Team Mortgage is sick, man.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys, for people that don't know, Sebastien is in a band, Death from Above 1979.
Huh?
You guys are originally from Toronto, is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. And did you guys, it's a duo, by the way. Let me go ahead and give some shout out to Jesse
Sure.
Keeler as well.
Yep.
It's a duo, though. You play drums and do vocals.
Yep.
Jesse's more on the bass side, correct?
He plays bass and synth, and he'll sing along sometimes.
And how long have you guys been band so far?
Over 20 years. So this is now we're celebrating the 21st anniversary of our first LP. But we started in 2001. So yeah,
Yeah,
long time.
yeah. That's cool, man. How did you guys come up with the name Death from Above? And why did you add the 1979? If you'd like to share with the class.
Sure, yeah. Well, the band name came from a t-shirt that Jesse saw in a army surplus store. And he's just like, that's badass. That should be a band name.
Yeah.
And so when we started this band, that was kind of the pitch, it's like, this is the band name, this is the band. Um, the 1979 came. We'd been at this for a couple of years already, and we are getting kind of love in the kind of punk rock, kind of underground, esoteric music scene. Um, but our first record was going to come out on a label in Canada called Last Gang, and in America it was on Vice, but Vice was Atlantic Records, so there's kind of like major label involved, and there was some energy put behind it, and the record label DFA Records, which is the LCD sound system world, they sent us a cease and desist letter, fearing that there would be confusion between DFA, which was Death from Above,
Right.
and From Above the band. Um, and so, yeah, we kind of took the path of least resistance and just added my birth year at the end
I
of it.
was wondering, I was like, why is it 1979 for so long? Okay.
At that time there was only one tattoo in the band, and I have a tattoo on my arm of my birth year, and so it makes the most sense. I don't know. It's hard. We were kind of under duress.
Yeah.
We were driving between um, Montreal and Toronto, and we got this call, and they weren't going to put out a record until we gave them a new name, and so we just kind of went with it. That at that time, I mean, this whole band is like, just go with it.
Yeah.
Two guys, bass, drums, just go with it.
Yeah. Make it work.
Um, yeah, make it work.
Yeah.
So, we made it work. We reclaimed Death from Above as a name, on our last record, and then or two records ago, and then we added it back for fun, just to confuse.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I'm sure that was a little bit stressful when you guys like getting your first boom, you know what I mean? Like trying to figure out the
Uh,
branding and everything.
who knows?
Yeah, but anyways,
I don't really remember how I felt back then.
yeah, man. Well, anyways, I remember one of the first times I saw y'all play was on Conan O'Brien, bro. I was big. This is back when I'm like, I had my AOL Instant Messenger right here, and then I'm watching like what's on Conan that night, the music.
Amazing.
And I
Yeah.
remember, and the big thing is I went back and rewatched it, and of course,
Yeah.
it's like everywhere online. I was like, okay, I'm not the only
Yeah.
one. But Max Weinberg, he's
Yeah.
trying to play drums for you, and he can't get his hand out of the jacket. And I was just wondering, could you like relive that for us? Like, what was that like to see Max
Um,
Weinberg?
yeah, well, we were asked to play on Conan, which was a great honor. I was a fan of his.
2005 is
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
I think it was four. I
Oh,
think it was,
possibly.
yeah.
Okay.
Fan of the show. Uh, I loved what he did in The Simpsons. Like I just, I thought he was great
Yeah.
um, at the time, and so it was a great honor. And our label, the guy that ran our label, his name's was Adam. His name is Adam Shore. He doesn't run that label anymore. Don't think that
Okay.
label exists, but um, and the other guy that ran the label, Sarush, they were just like, why don't we do something cool? Why don't you get someone from the band to play along? Get one of the guys from the band. And it may have been Jesse was like, you mean like Max Weinberg? And they're like, yeah,
Hell
let's
yeah.
let's ask. And we had no idea that that was in the realm of possibility. And, they reached out and asked him, and he was like, yeah, sure. And so he listened to the song, he wrote out some music, and we had a rehearsal, that day. We came in and he came, and we had the opportunity to just be like, nah,
You
it
could have
ain't
been like, no
whatever.
good.
We had veto power, and he did it the first time, and it was terrible. And then he did it the second time, and it's like, okay, I could see this. And then the third time, it ruled. It was amazing.
Thick.
Um,
Okay.
I wasn't even a Springsteen fan at the time. I became a Springsteen fan later. I was
Yeah.
just like the sort of the iconic nature of the whole thing was what motivated it.
Right.
Uh, and we also had the opportunity to retake if we didn't, if something happened during the performance on
Oh,
TV.
really? Okay.
So they said, if something happens, if something falls over or whatever, or if you mess up, you can do another
Interesting.
take. So we're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we do it, and he narrowly messes it up. He almost doesn't get the jacket off in time. I don't know why he wanted to take his jacket off.
I think it was like he just had to let go the whole time. I think he was so excited. He just
No, it's because he had his sticks. He got caught, right? He got
oh,
caught.
it's stuck on there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so but then he nailed it. He got in there and he nailed it, and we went with it.
Yeah.
And I was just in my soul, I was like, that was perfect. And Jesse thought, oh, we're definitely retaking this. So he was just kind of waiting until they came around and said, like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
went with it.
Yeah. It's
What-
beautiful.
What's what's cool about that is that, it's a memory of our, obviously it's online, you can watch it, and people have seen it, but it's kind of just like our memory, and it feels like something that just kind of like happened in the ether. And
Yeah.
I was randomly chatting with Jay Weinberg, who's Max's son, who's a great drummer,
He's
incredible
in like
drummer.
he's in a band.
He's in a ton of bands. Jesse saw
Yeah.
him in Slipknot, and
Slipknot. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesse thought he was like the fills he was doing were so unpredictable that he just stopped trying to predict them and just enjoyed it and was blown away.
Oh wow.
So we were chatting on Instagram last week, and I was like, yo, your dad played in our band. And he's like, I know. And you know what? He talks about it all the time. And I was so stoked that he remembers it, and he
Oh
has it,
yeah. Oh,
which
he's
is
gonna remember
cool.
that forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well,
Anyway,
that's super cool. Yeah, no, man. I had to bring that up, man. It's a super cool
sure,
memory
yeah.
for you guys. Let's see, let's go ahead and talk about playing music in general. Your inspirations, if you have a few. I'm sure there's kind of a hard question to answer, but I just imagine did you grow up in Toronto or
Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs.
I was just curious, like living in Canada, if that like changed your music taste at all.
Music scene, obviously in Canada and Toronto. We didn't feel when we started, we didn't feel connected to any of that. There's a lot of
Okay.
bands that came out of Canada at that time. We felt more akin to bands in other cities.
Okay.
the sort of the first scene we played in really was through this label, our label in Vancouver called Ache Records. They played a band called Red Light Sting, and they were affiliated with the Blood Brothers and Pretty Girls Make Graves and the whole kind of West Coast scene. Jesse spent time before the band in San Diego playing with kind of like the Crimson Curse and Locust, those guys, right? So
Locust is dope.
31G world.
Yeah.
So
That's cool, man.
even though like, we didn't spend a lot of time in that scene, those were the first kind of shows we played. We're in that world. So
Cool.
um, and not that I drew inspiration from it, like I wasn't like listening to that kind of music, but being thrown into that scene, the energy of it was so incredible. I remember the first time watching the Blood Brothers. It wasn't the first time I'd seen them, but we were playing at the Troubadour together, and I was standing on the balcony watching. I was watching the crowd the whole time, and I was just so mesmerized by the exchange of energy, because we were doing it, we hadn't been doing it for very long. Um, but I had this sort of the on-stage perspective of the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
And to stand on the other side and watch, oh, this is what music can do. It's a sharing experience. It's not just, you're not just broadcasting. Because at the beginning, we were kind of combative with the audience because we were new, we didn't know if people liked it, and there was a confrontational aspect to it. And so um, to look at it from the other perspective and to see that, oh no, it needs both things to work,
Yeah.
was a revelation to me. And I still think about those moments when we perform now.
Man, that's a wild perspective, a wild way to put it. Like when you first started, it was combative. Like I could totally understand that. Like you're just trying to make a name for yourself and get out there. And then you
Yeah, and
just,
also you're playing, often you're opening for other bands and you're
right.
playing,
Yeah.
even in the early days, opening for kind of bigger bands, and people don't want to see you. Like the audience doesn't want to. They want to see the
Like,
next
who the hell is
people.
this? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so our MO is just turn it up, play very loud,
Yeah.
and kind of fuck you. That was a bit of the attitude,
Yeah.
because we thought we were very good,
Yeah.
um, and and if that was not the reaction, then it was like, well, too bad for you. We're going to do it anyway. It wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry, you don't like this.
Yeah.
So- and that's kind of been the attitude since, but it's more because we have an audience now. We don't have to be like, go home. We can
Right.
all in this together. So whatever it is, the energy, the energy we're putting out, plus, the humor that we put in between songs, and we're kind of like, we're all just hanging out, having a good time. We're all in on the joke, we're all in on the energy, and let's just have a good time.
Hell yeah, man. This show is gonna be sick, man. You're gonna shut down San Antonio down on the strip. I can't
See.
wait.
We'll see.
When's the last time you guys played in Texas? You have any memories playing in Texas? You like tacos, breakfast tacos here?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm into all that shit.
yeah, all that Texas stuff.
Yep, all the Texas stuff. We've been playing in Texas the whole time. Very obviously strong memories, early days playing South by Southwest, but also, Mary Jane's Fat Cat in Houston, and the Gypsy Tea Room in Dallas and those kinds of places. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, it'll be good to have you back, man. When you're here, I have to grab you some good tacos if you want some pastor. I'll grab you some.
I like the cabeza, the
Oh
face meat.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I get you that. Most of green salsa or red salsa.
Uh I'll go green. I don't like too much. I'm Jesse's half Indian, so he'll go spicy. I'm broadly Northern European, so
Okay,
I
heard.
like I like the subtle flavors of the fats,
Gotcha.
and the salts. Um, I like a good squeeze of lime. I like pickled things, so I'll put a lot of pickled stuff on them. Pickled
Fair.
onion.
Excellent, excellent. Let's see. What do you guys you're working on anything new music projects that you want to talk about?
I mean, we're always working on new music, whether it's practically or just conceptually. We're kind of in the conceptual phase of what our new thing's going to be. Um, I have another project called American Lips that I'm kind of actively working on with my buddy Adrian in Montreal. He's the songwriter, and I just kind of like help him finish things, and it's fun for me because it's I can be very kind of critical and supportive at the same time, but I don't. It's low, uh, not low. I don't. I'm trying to explain it. I could just be more free to. I could see it better when it's my own stuff. It's harder, when
Totally.
you're a song from scratch, it's more difficult to see where it's going sometimes. But with someone else's work, when I'm given sort of a green light on it, I can see it clearly. So it's fun to play that role with this project.
Nice. That's called American Lips.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I have to check that out, man. Let's see. What else are we gonna ask you? Oh, yes. One more question I had to ask you as well. My friends are asking me to ask you, what's up with the elephant tusks? Where did that come from?
The trunk, elephant trunks.
Yes, yes.
So uh
Because
let me
it's iconic. Like you see it, you're like, oh, you're a dope person. You know that band. Like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, I just wondering where that originated from.
Well, it was an attempt to create a logo that didn't require a name, so we
Yeah.
could the logo. So the whole thing started with me thinking that it would be cool to put our faces on the record cover because in the scene we were in, it wasn't cool to put your face on the record cover. So we thought, why don't we do that? Break convention and be like, oh no, we're a band, we're like a boy band. Like there's like two guys, uh, and Jesse was like, "That's cool, but also this." And he walked in. We were living together. And he walked in with these like toy elephant trunks, and he took pictures of us. I took a picture of him. He took a picture of me on a white wall, and then he went on his PC, his old PC, and he drew this thing up. And that was the first logo, which was on our record Heads Up. And then we did an updated version for the LP for Euro and I'm a Machine, and it just stuck. And it was really, he was trying to make something where you didn't need to write the title of the band. You didn't need to write Death from Above,
You're right. Yeah.
Um, and so that's where it started. But the real motivation for him was um, he grew up uh, with and his family's half Indian, and he lived with his grandparents for a long time when he was a kid. And his grandfather, who grew up in India, um, was given one toy as a child. It was a little ceramic elephant,
Oh, nice.
and and he broke it because he's a child, and it's and his father said, "Well, that's it, no more toys for you." And so, as I guess a kind of revolt through his years, he just kept collecting elephants. So when Jesse grew up in this house, there were just elephant little toys and statues and paintings,
Wow.
things everywhere. So it just seeped into us. He didn't do it consciously when
Yeah.
he just did it subconsciously. And I think it was until later, or he was in his grandpa's house. He was like, "Oh, I guess that's why I did it."
Wow, man. And then it's the iconic logo now. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to plug, my man?
Nah,
Nah.
our
What do you
merch store.deathromabove1979.com. Uh, you know, our shows section, come to a show. That's
yeah.
really what it's about for us. Just
Uh
listen to music and
heck
enjoy.
heck yeah, man. They're gonna be playing Death from Above 1979 at Paper Tiger here in San Antonio. That's right on the strip. Go check them
Mhm.
out, guys. February 1st. Sebastien, again, thanks for doing this, man. And I really appreciate it. I'm gonna see you at the show. So can't wait.
Amen. Awesome. Thanks, Cameron.
No problem.
All right, take it easy.